And welcome to the LV Home Experts Radio Show, where we talk about real estate and financing. If this is your first time tuning in to this channel, my name is Chakits Kruksawat. I'm a licensed real estate agent out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the only live podcast you're going to get every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we talk about only real estate and financing and the ins and outs of what's going on out here in the Las Vegas Valley. I don't really need to introduce my two main mans, my left, right, I don't know, whatever. What's up? What's going on, guys?
What's happening? Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, I'm just going straight right into it.
Just right into it.
Yeah, just right into
dive right in.
Yeah, man.
So,
What's going
on today's show, basically, you guys can just call in with your questions, or actually, you know what? Don't even call in because the phone is dead. So we're not doing any call-ins. I forgot to charge the phone. However, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and type it in the comments because this is a live show. But how was your guys' week so far?
I think it's great.
My week's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely fantastic.
Why?
Well, because we brought on a couple new agents.
That's cool.
For one. They've hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. It's just been really awesome to see how this whole team is kind of like organically grown over the past couple months. So I'm really excited about that. And the market's absolutely fantastic still. Put 6 deals in escrow.
Wow, 6 deals in escrow.
So yeah,
You on fire.
It's awesome.
Hey, so who are the 2 agents that you hired? Let's give them a quick shout out.
Michael Campbell.
Michael Campbell.
And Judith Gazel.
There you go.
Judith.
Judith Gazel.
Judith Gazel.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah.
Are they watching?
They better be watching. Also, we got a couple Christmas cards, right? During this time of year, you know, like agents, they get a lot of cards.
Sure.
But I want to give a quick shout out to Cece for sending out this card. It says, thank you for all your awesome content that you have shared with us. Maybe one day I will win the lottery and come and see you and actually buy a home from you. So,
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice, very thoughtful. So I want to say I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
Was that directed to you or the team, or just you or the team? Like, who was it directed at?
I'm going to say, you know what? Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's always about the team. So it's the team.
There you go.
At the end of the day, right? Because here's the thing. I couldn't do what I'm doing if I didn't have Joey. Joey couldn't do what he's doing if he didn't have, the team. So at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's really about all of us, right? Because
Absolutely.
Believe it or not, look, I'm just the leader of the band. That's all.
You're the lead singer, right?
I'm the lead singer. But here's the thing. The drummer is always the cool guy. Joey's the drummer.
Yeah.
All right? So what would you be, Dan? What would you be?
What would I be? I would be like the one that does like, what is that thing where they like clank? Yeah, the tambourine. I'd just be in the back like ding, 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 ding. And then be like, hey, Dan, you're up front. You can come up. I'd be like, wait, hold on. I got a couple more. All right. I'm coming up. I'll be in the background. Hey, what's up?
Okay. Oh, yesterday, it was very cold late yesterday. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like 30 degrees?
Yeah, it was
like
very
bone
windy.
chilling.
Yeah. And it actually snowed yesterday, so that was a good thing. Oh, what up, Josh? We got $4.99 on a super chat. Much love. Thank you very much.
1 gallon of gas, baby.
Is that how much gas is costing right now in Las Vegas?
Just cash that thing in right now.
Yeah.
Okay, got a question for you, Joey. What is the process of building a house from the ground up?
If you go with a home builder?
Yeah.
All right. So once we select a home builder, you go and select your floor plan, right?
Okay.
We select the floor plan, then we identify which home site that can go on. Now, if there's several of them, 2, 3, 4 of them, they all come with different lot premiums. Okay, so at that point, you figure out which one best fits your budget. Mm-hmm. Then we go to contract. And we select your structural options. Mm-hmm. That has to be done and solidified within 3 days of going to contract.
Now, what is structural items?
So structural option is going to be like an oversized slider.
Okay.
Right? If you want extra cabinets, a specific style of kitchen, like a chef's kitchen, if it comes with different ranges, or the super shower in lieu of, shower tub combination, or freestanding.
Yeah.
So things like that, something that they have to pull permits on.
Okay.
All right. So after you solidify that, then within about 3 weeks, they call you to go down to the design center. And then that's where you pick out all your goodies, right? All your hard surfaces, your flooring, your baseboards, countertops, plumbing fixtures, and things like that.
That's a very good explanation. However, there's more to it than that, so don't think it's that easy.
I got a question on something real quick. So, people always say, like, oh, I'm gonna use you, or you're gonna be a realtor and support. So why would somebody use a realtor going into a new home versus saying I can do it on my own? Because look, a lot of people think it's easy. What is the real purpose, right, of having a real estate agent supporting that? Obviously, there's upgrades. There's certain things in the contract. So, like, explain like where
the value is. I guess the question is, why would somebody use Joey with the Chakits Kruksawat group?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of moving parts and pieces when you build a new home. And you want to make sure that you're making that right decision. Now, you have to remember when you go into a new home community, that salesperson represents the builder. They don't represent the buyer.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're going through this process, things, I mean, we've seen it all, between the construction, the, superintendent, things that were missing, they try to get you to sign off on things that you might not think that were that important at the time, but after you sign off on them, you close, you can open up a can of worms, right?
Exactly.
So it's just a matter of the support, sometimes, with structural options, or if you want to do some stuff decorative afterwards, we have all the contacts that can actually help you achieve what you're trying to on budget.
Right.
So, I mean, there's just so many things to cover.
But it's not just going in and saying, hey, I want upgrades and kind of coach me. It's not, that part is just the beginning stages. Like, you still have to go through the process of the frame walk. You got to do, a lot of the structural part of it later down the road. You got to do the final walk. Sometimes people aren't here. You got to make sure you're communicating with the transaction coordinator on the builder side. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that it's not just, okay, I'm showing up, you signed, and then we're going to go through the upgrade process with you, and that's it. We're just
95% of the agents across the country, that's what they'll do, is they'll take you to new homes track, you sign it, you never see the agent. However, what we do here on the team is literally walk you through the process. Because when you build a home, a lot of people don't just build homes every day. I mean, we've closed over like 150-something transactions, right? So when we help you build a home, we're speccing it based upon the current value, right? Because there's different income levels when it comes to a home. You can buy a $450,000 home, but you don't want to over appraise that home because you may add things in there that you don't need. Also, typically when people have a budget.
Explain that part. I'm curious because I'm just curious. Let's say a consumer. How would somebody over appraise a new home? Because it's a new home. So how would you over appraise that?
So you can go in with a budget and you realize that you're picking all these additional options, and at the end of the day, it's overvalue, which you could still pay for the home. But the problem is when you sell it, right, you're doing yourself no good because that home, even though you have like full electronics, smart home system device on a $450,000 home, you'll never get that money back. But let's just say if we're helping you build a $2 million home, there's certain things that you just need in the home to bring it up to that level, right? And a lot of consumers are just not aware of what they need, right? So let me give you an idea. So I had a client. They want to do light fixtures, right, on the outside because what they want to do is actually add lights, like Christmas lights, right? So they want to add some plugs, which is fine, right? And it's just called a J-box. Now, instead of doing a J-box, why don't we do a half-hot? What a half-hot is, if you look inside one of your rooms, you always have a light switch that's upside down, right? A plug. One of it goes to a light switch, and another one is just your regular power. So we put it on the outside, but also we're running a three-way, which is a switch to the garage. So that way, if he ever wants to plug in his Christmas lights, right, that's on top of the roof on the eaves, he can turn it on from the garage. However, he also still has the additional plug, right? So if he wants to hook up his wireless cameras, he has that 210 there. So these are just common sense things that we just know. In addition to that, like when you're building a home, there's certain things that you just need to know. If you have a certain amount of budget, where do you spend that money? How do we maximize that money, right? How do we get a higher percentage of a rate of return? Because when we go into deals for new home buyers, we don't get emotionally involved. we always look on the resale value, right?
Yep.
If you only have $20,000, we're not just throwing it all on cosmetics. We're going to focus on low voltage, high voltage, and structural options first. Whatever's left, then we will move that over into cosmetics.
Why is the voltage part of it important? Because look, I bought a house, and I ended up having, it was like 15 volt for all the outlets. I had to go through the whole house and fix that. There was some other voltage that was a little bit low. Is that wise? Because you would have to go through and maybe increase the outlets or increase the voltage?
No, your problem is that you probably didn't have enough amperage, and that's a whole nother ball game. It's like you can go to one builder, right? They have a power box, but their power box is only at a 220 amp. You may need a 250 amp. Like another example, if I know my clients want a pool, right? Before we can go under contract, we need to contact a pool guy to send over the plot map to make sure you can fit a pool, because after 3 days, you can't cancel out of the deal, right? Another tip is that if we're going to build a pool, number one, we need to run a 220 with a 40 amp, right? Also, what side do you run it on? You're not going to run it on the side of the master bedroom because you don't want that pump going all day and you can hear the pump, right? And these are the quick little tips and tricks that we know. Positioning of your home, right? If you have a pool, is your pool going to be facing the south side of the valley? If it is, that's where you're going to get most of your sun exposure, right? So all this plays a big part. So, I mean, I can go on and on and on.
That's a lot of value, though. I mean,
no,
look,
it is.
I'm going to say this. So people always think, well, it's just showing up. There's other parts, and I think it's case by case. I can't say that, you're going to get a chef's kitchen. Not every builder's going to offer that, correct? Like, it's going to be case by case per builder and where you take it. Also custom. That stuff that you're talking about, is that more of a custom style builder that's going to give you those options, Chuck? Like those ones you're talking about with the lights on the roof and all that other stuff. Is that more of a custom style builder, or is that builders are just starting to offer that altogether?
Say again, I'm sorry.
So you said that, like, as far as like the three-way, as far as the line out, the voltage, also the Christmas lights, things like that.
Yeah.
Is that more of a custom style thing for builders? It's not like
certain builders will give you that option, right? So a lot of builders will give you that option, but when you go down to the design studio, when they run high and low voltage, they don't even ask you that. They assume that you're going to want a certain rocker switch. So let me give you an example for a three-way. So we have two doors here, right?
Yep.
We have lights here.
Yep.
Okay. A builder will only give you one switch to turn on the light. But if you got two doors, you're exiting and entering from there, you should have a three-way. Because why would you walk from there to here to turn it off? So these are
it's
things
all connected.
Exactly. So these are the things that we look at when we do the floor plan, right? And it's very important. In addition to that is when we do a frame walk, right? Here's another example. We literally, right, and I just did this yesterday, right, on Instagram. We take the diagram of the floor plan and also our high and low voltage, right, before they drywall. We make sure everything's there. Every time we do it, we always miss something. So that's the reason why we're there, because we know what that consumer had ordered, and we're going through that list together. And we had some problems yesterday. And now what builders are doing, because you got to understand this, the builder, they're not building your home. You sign a contract that says, we are just contractors. We're hiring all the subs. So you have a superintendent that actually works for the builder. Their job is to make sure the timelines are in. They have all the trades that come in to build the home. But recently, and we're doing a deal right now where the appliances are not in, which is completely fine. But the air conditioning unit is a freaking 14 SEER AC unit, which I caught it, and I'm like, dude, base price on this home for what we paid for should have been a 16 SEER.
Why does that make a difference?
Because the higher the SEER rating, the better the power is going to be. You're going to save more on electricity.
Yeah, more energy efficient.
Exactly. So I caught that and I said, no. You guys put the wrong condenser in here. It's a 14 SEER. We're entitled to a 16 SEER. So you're downgrading because you guys didn't have the condenser. But if the average person didn't know, they're not going to look at those kind of things.
Right.
You know, I'm just dropping the mic. I'm out.
Yep.
Well, I mean, look, that's a good point, though. I mean, there's other things, too, that comes in a house, like the insulation. Like, what types of insulation do you want to take on, right?
And I'll tell you what, it's so important right now because the way things are in transit right now, condensers are on back order, insulation, radiant barriers, like there are so many different things that are not coming on time.
Right.
So the home builders are like trying to slip some things in that are not supposed to be there.
You're not going to know as a consumer. Let me give you another idea. In Inspirata, real quick, Inspirata, we were supposed to get radiant barrier. Yep. We didn't get the radiant barrier. Okay. My client was like, oh, we didn't get the radiant. Hey, don't worry about this. Okay. I know that we have batten installation at R30. How's about you guys upgrade us to R38 to compensate that, right? The radiant barrier. So now the R value is just the same, equal, or even higher. You know what? They sign off on it. It's a fair deal.
Yeah.
See, you got to have some sort of construction knowledge too as well.
Well, if you got the 95% of agents aren't following through, just like you said, and like we were talking about, then you're not going to catch those things.
Exactly.
You're going to get to the end and it's already going to be done and they're not going to even think twice about it. And they'll be like, well, then all of a sudden you're in your house for a year.
Yeah, it's too late.
And then it's too late.
See, that's what sets us apart. We literally educate our clients and literally walk them through the process. But we never tell them what to do. We just say, hey, these are the pros and cons. These are your options, left and right, pick one, right? But it's our job as an agent to really know our product. And I think that's where a lot of agents lack across the country. All they're good at is just selling you a home. Those times that's gone already. And I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If you're an agent, no matter where you're at, if you have a product, you got to know your product, okay? The only way to know your product is actually join this team. I'll have a link in the description below to contact Joey.
Call now.
Call now. Somebody says, Dan, the road manager.
The road manager?
Yeah, I think the reason why he said the road manager because you were that one instrument that you're playing.
Tambourine.
Yeah, the tambourine. How's about you just the road manager?
Hey, I think I'll just be the business manager. I'll be in a suit in the side, just waiting for everybody to get paid. I want to be a bit of band.
I have a question for Dan. Okay, here's a question. How should clients deal with rate hikes at the time it goes up by waiting for our new home build to close?
It's a good question. Well, so a lot of banks, what they did is they went away with that extended lock period, and they're starting to bring it back. And so that's the way you do it. Now,
explain the lock period.
Well, it usually costs like at least a point, especially if you're on a jumbo loan. So that could be pretty pricey, you know. So let's say you're doing an $800,000 deal, that could be $8,000. So to protect yourself, you can just go ahead and lock it in and pay the $8,000. Unfortunately, that's how you have to do it, right? Now, that option wasn't even there. But if you look at it and you're like, well, I have an $800,000 home. We all know loan size generates how big of a payment you'll have. Might make sense. A lot of people wait, though. They wait till 90 days out, and then they just start monitoring the market and, you know, options there. But if they don't – see, it was okay back in the day when movement wasn't happening too much in rates. It was actually going down. Made sense. Let's just wait. Let's you know, it's called floating. But in this market, I think it might make sense to actually lock in, do the extended lock. Unfortunately, you got to pay the fee, but at least you're getting that 3% rate, you know, 3 1/8, whatever it is.
So I noticed some lenders will just automatically lock the client, which I don't like. I prefer to have the lender, right, to watch the market. And if the lender feels that now's the time to lock, the lender should contact the buyer and say, hey, look, this is the situation. I think we should lock.
Which lender just locks like that?
I mean, there was a few of them where they don't just contact the client. But, I mean, for our team, that's what we do. I mean, that's what I have Dan do. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, the client's going to make the decision, right?
Yeah.
They got to feel that they're comfortable with what's going on. They're getting the right information from our team. Some people, they're a little bit pushy, or some people just are like, hey, go into it. You just got to give them the pros and cons, as you guys do as realtors, and say, look, this is your benefit of locking now. You know, does it make sense for you to pay $6,000, $7,000, $8,000? You know, are you going to save money at that? Because look, let's say you locked in at 3.25.
Yeah.
Right? 3.25, and let's say the rates are 4%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that could be a difference on an $800,000 deal. Maybe, you know, it could be upwards of like $200-$300.
That's a pretty big payment.
Right. Big. So that might make sense because of the size of the loan. So I would say maybe you consider that. Now, if you're doing it on a $300,000 loan, I don't think, you know, it's $3,000. I don't know. You know, maybe the difference is $50 or $60. Is it really going to make a difference? I'm just giving an example. So it really goes by case. But I think people have to understand that the options are there for anything you want to do. If you want to lock in on an extended period, let's do it. If you want to look at rates consistently over, 6-8 months that we're looking at this house, let's do it. 90 days out, most people elect to do that because we were in a declining market for rates. Mm-hmm. And so, I think people are starting to look at other options. They're even looking at options for payment shock where you do like a 5-1, a 3-1, or a 7-1 arm, adjustable rate where it's fixed for so many years. and then it adjusts and has a cap, and so many times, it'll adjust per year. So I think people just have to look at the fact that rates are going up, and they're really looking at what are all my options, right? Yeah. What are everything I could look at.
What would be the benefit now of doing an adjustable rate?
I think people look at it and go, okay, well, if I'm on a 3-year or a 5-year or say a 10-year, 10-year arm, it's going to be fixed for a certain period of time. What can you do in that position? Maybe you're going to sell in 5 years. Mm-hmm. Maybe you think you're going to refinance.
Do they have interest rates? I mean, interest only? Do they still have those type of programs?
Yeah, I mean, there's options, but it's.
Wouldn't you rather go that route right now?
No, because if you do interest only, then there's nothing paid towards the principal.
Well, it doesn't matter, because let's just say if you did buy an investment property. Now, I've never done one. I'm just asking, right?
Well, but
if you bought a investment property and you have the same interest rate, equity goes up, you just sell it because you're selling based on the equity.
It turns into a negative. So really, what's going on is there's not many products, if any, I don't think, interest only, because it turns into a negative negative amortization loan, because now you're actually going higher than what you actually owe in the house, because you're not paying anything down on the principal.
Right.
So it makes no sense. That's a bad deal.
Question for Chakits. Have you ever had a client on the show to bring that perspective in for your viewers? Have we ever had clients come in?
Perspective of what?
As far as
like a buyer's perspective.
Yeah. Like our process and walking them through?
Just go on your channel, man. I mean, on your website.
You know what's crazy is
you got all these reviews on there. Go check that out.
I guess what he's saying, have we ever brought somebody on the show or the shows in the past? I think we did, right, on the radio show.
I think it's a little bit like uneasy for people to sometimes come on and talk about this,
especially when you're live, because when we have guests on here, right? Agents, they get pretty nervous.
Yeah.
It's not easy, man.
Not only that, too, people don't want to talk about their financials and all their stuff that they went through and challenges, because it's like, it's kind of, some people think it's sensitive information for them,
So Dennis says this. He goes, Chakits, if I wanted to use you as a realtor, do I have you for the whole process, or do I get one of the people that are on your team? Joe, you want to go ahead and answer that question?
Well, I think it's all about case-by-case basis.
Correct.
Right? So, I mean, as everybody knows, you are out in the field filming, building this content, educating people. Yeah. So if you're not available, you get me.
Yes, you get Joey. Joey's actually my right-hand man. I mean, me and Joey, we're like this.
Yeah.
Okay?
So, but in most cases, like, we work, if you refer somebody over to me that you can't take, we work the deal together.
Yeah, we work the deal together. So, it would be 3 of us, technically.
Yeah.
Well, if they need
2 agents for the price of 1.
Yeah, exactly. Now, also, I want to disclose this too as well. I'm always pushing Dan, and the reason why I'm pushing Dan is because he's a great lender. In addition to that, it's like the dream team. However, this is one thing that I do want to disclose. You're entitled to use whoever you guys want as a lender, so just keep that in mind. Now, if you guys go through the process and you have a conversation with Dan and you're like, you know what? I just don't even like the sound of his voice. I totally understand. I get that sometimes too. So that doesn't mean that you can't work with us, okay? I'm not trying to put you down, Dan, because sometimes that happens to me too, where I have a conversation with somebody and I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is going to work because of our personality. But that personality may work better with Joey, right? So it's always a case-by-case basis.
And you'll know that right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it just doesn't make sense. My biggest thing is you're selling, but you don't want to try to convince somebody to work with you.
Sure.
Like, when you're at that level, I'm not saying, look, we all want to earn business, we want to do right, and we're in a sales industry, we're in a service industry, but you know what? Like, some people are going to try to.
You have to jive with the person you're doing business with.
Yeah, man. I mean, and the thing is sometimes people just don't. They're almost like trying to talk themselves out of doing the deal. I'm just telling you that does happen,
and that's okay, right?
Well, Chuck here is being very negative, basically telling that we should keep our mouths shut because we're not an electrician. Obviously, we're not an electrician. Of course, we know that. But here's the thing. We know a little bit about a lot. So at the end of the day, if somebody was trying to fool us, we know if we're being fooled, okay? So we're not saying we're like super experts on every single thing. I mean, come on.
I think
let's get real here.
You got to compare it to, I think what we're trying to emphasize is if you look at your guys' situation, it's what does the average realtor give?
Exactly.
And you guys give more than the average real estate agent, real estate professional, whatever you guys call it. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's, you're just saying that you care and you want to go above.
Yeah, of course. But Chuck, hey, I do appreciate you commenting because it really definitely helps out the algorithm. So if you have anything else negative to say, go ahead and please say it. I really, really encourage that.
Who said that?
Mr. Chuck. All right, what else we got? It says, hi, Chuck. It's love watching your videos. Question, when you look for a home, what do you expect on looking for damages or damages when you do a home inspection, I guess? So I guess when you go out and you look at a home, what are the things you look out for?
Me, I look out for leaks, any water intrusion, the condition of the roof, condition of the condenser, the AC.
Okay.
The big ticket items, not so much the cosmetic. Obviously, it depends on the year of the home. But those are the most important things to me, right? Structurals, stucco and stuff like that. That's just over time, settlement cracks.
What about layout?
Now,
a lot of people look at layout, like if it's
this is an inspection.
Yeah. So here's I just want to interrupt you for just a second, Dan. I do apologize because I think this is important. Okay. Here's another value proposition here. Okay. As agents, when we go to a home, right, especially on a resale home, depending if you are a VA buyer, FHA buyer, or conventional buyer, there's 3 different types of appraisals, right? So when we go and look at a home with a client, I don't physically look at the home as far as, oh, this looks great, let's put in an offer. The first thing I'm going to do is really take a look at the condition of the home, because this is going to be important based upon the type of financing you have. We're going to have to write an offer a certain way, right? We may not even be able to get that deal done, right? Let me give you an example. We may walk into a home, there's no flooring. Flooring's gone. I have a VA buyer. This deal ain't going to appraise. It ain't going to go through because there's no flooring, right? So number one, I already got to know that, right? To negotiate this deal, somebody got to get that flooring in before the appraiser comes out. Or if something's majorly broken, knowing that it will be contingent upon these items being fixed. But if I know the seller can't perform to get that done, we're not going into this deal. So there's the value. Also, with the brand new homes, right? We're not experts, but we will hire somebody that is an expert. We will print out the home inspection report, go to the home inspection, right? When we do our home orientation at that point, then we can see exactly what is wrong. When we meet with the superintendent, we can hold them accountable. We want this done. We want this done. 9 times out of 10, we will get objections from the superintendent. And the reason why is because now it's a pissing match, because number one, they don't like realtors. Number two is we just put more of a workload on them, because at the end of the day, they need to meet that timeline. They just want to get the deal closed, right? So now that they're frustrated, but at the end of the day, we put the feelings off to the side, because I don't get into that pissing match. I don't care.
But you know what's crazy, that 99% of the home buyers out there don't know that you can actually get a home inspection when buying a brand new home.
And you're going to have more problems.
It's crazy. It's amazing the things that we find and we uncover at a new home orientation with the inspection report, right? It's just absolutely crazy. So having that in your hand is gold.
It is. And I think it was like 3 weeks ago we did one. I'm not going to mention the builder. However, they literally was just trying to drive this property down my client's throat. And I was like, dude, this thing is a piece of crap. You guys are going to sign off on this home and saying that this is good. It's like, would you actually live here? It's like, come on, guys. Like, we got to do something. And what they always try to tell you is, well, home warranty will take care of it. So let's just close and let's just move in, and then you can go through the home warranty process.
Yeah, and that's a nightmare in itself.
It is. Do not do that before you close. You might as well get everything done, so that way once you move in, you don't have those problems. It's
because what happens is once you go in and you close on the house, it goes from construction, signs off on it, they turn it over to the warranty department. Then you have to do a warranty claim online, and then the warranty, they hire a completely different contractor to come out to do the work. So based on their availability is when you get the work done.
Builders just wipe their hands from it.
Basically,
right? Well, that's what they want to do, because at that point, here's the thing. When it comes to builders, they're not really building your home. You know what they're doing? They're just pushing paper.
They're a middle person.
Exactly. They're just pushing paper. It's all about making money,
They got other people in place to make the deal happen.
That's just crazy.
But I was bringing up when I said, looking at the overall layout, there is properties that are existing properties, because we don't just deal with new homes, right? We deal with existing too. But I've seen it where, I've had reports come back where pools were too close to the door.
Yeah.
So they customly put the pool in too close to the door, so it was not up to city code. They've actually put on like extra rooms and stuff not permitted. Extra additions to the house not permitted.
That would prevent the property from appraising
100%
and getting the loan.
100%. And that goes through the home inspection. Because now if you have a home inspector going out, go like, okay, did they properly permit this? They can go look this stuff online or get the data or whatever the paperwork. You can't add that value technically through an appraisal, right? If you had to get an appraisal. So those are things to look at. I mean, it's not just you walk into a new home, it's also existing home. So there's a lot of different things, but I know you guys deal with a lot of new home purchases, so I understand.
I mean, I like new homes because I like to spec out the homes with my client. The only part that goes wrong with me is that this last one I went to the design studio and I just had an epiphany and I just realized this. The clients end up always asking me, what do I think about this? What do I think about this? But then I realize, crap, I'm actually spending this guy's money and literally building this home the way that I want to build it. So I realized the other day I had to say, hey guys, you know what? I can't do this. Because now I'm picking their flooring, I'm picking their cabinets. So I'm almost transitioning into like a designer, but then I have to step back and say, hey, look, my role here is how to maximize our build, right? Electrical, high and low voltage, right? Insulation and all that stuff. And when it does come to cosmetics, I do have certain inputs, right? It also plays a little part. And the reason why is because you have to take a look at within your marketplace of what homes are selling for and the style of that home. Because here it's so trendy, right? You can't just do regular oak cabinets. Nobody likes oak cabinets, but the builders are so smart. That's what you get for standard. So what does that mean? You're forced to upgrade, right? And how do we actually save money? Here's another quick tip, okay? How do you get that modern look, right? With saving money in your kitchen? Because the kitchen is like one of the most expensive things. And it's like one of the most desirable things. Like when you walk into a home, that's like the first thing that you see, right? That's kind of like the center focus of a home, right? It's the kitchen, followed up with the bathrooms and the primary, right? So we can always go white because everything's all white or gray now, right? Shaker cabinets. But instead of spending the money on the dovetails, we're just going to go MDFs, just side glides, keep it cheap, full overlays, but it makes it look like it's a custom kitchen cabinet until you actually open it. But also, you got to understand the price point that you're at. It doesn't make any sense to spend those few extra extra thousands of dollars to get that because of that price range. Now, if you are in a multi-million-dollar home, you better make sure you have it. Now, you can't even get white shaker cabinets. You got to get like Scavellini cabinets, right? Depending how big your kitchen is, you better have some LED lights underneath, right? You better have some LED lights under the toe kick. There's just certain things that you just need depending on the price point of the home.
Sure. I agree with that.
I agree.
All right.
Do you agree?
Oh, I concur.
Am I just yapping it up right now?
You're on a roll today.
You know, I could have just done this show by myself.
Heck yeah.
With me and Chuck.
That's funny.
All right, what else we got here? Let's see another one. So I guess you guys did a home inspection with Veer, right? Is that correct?
At Veer?
No, not at Veer. Was it a Veer Star?
Oh, Ver, yeah.
Oh, it's a Ver. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So how did that go?
It went off without a hitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I was tagged, and Ver is actually a client of ours. And I think I was tagged on Instagram. I don't know if I was tagged or not. But...
So one thing that we are waiting for is the condenser.
Oh, the condenser.
Yeah.
Okay. What was wrong with the condenser? Just missing?
They don't have one.
What they should do is add one, but then come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they said that by the time that installation's done, drywall's up, they should be able to install it, or it should be in. We're crossing our fingers. But yeah, I mean, everything else looked good. I mean, the house looks great. All electrical was in. They didn't miss anything.
Are you the lender on that, Dan?
I am.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's been nice. He's very loyal, good person. Like all I can say
He's just a cool dude.
Really good guy. He shows support to us, to you, to me, to Joey. I mean, so you got to give a shout out to Veristar because that guy is he's on it every single time, every week, and he shows support. And I think it goes a long way. It just tells you who that person is, and that's what you want to.
Another question: when inspecting a home, will it cover your warranty and insurance? which I think those are two different things, so you're going to have to clarify. So number one, she wants to know if with the inspection to a home, will it cover a warranty? So a warranty and a home inspection are two different things. A home inspection is through a third-party company that represents you to look through the home thoroughly. Now let's talk about home warranty. Home warranty with the builder, there are all type of warranties. So you do not get a home warranty from the builder. That's just straight up. Okay. Remember, they are contractors. So what that means is they ain't coming back. Now they do have a department where, if something breaks, they have a service department. But as far as if your foundation breaks, it ain't through them. If your appliance goes out, it ain't through them.
Well, they got that.
If the windows go out, it ain't through them.
But you say this, though, there's different tiers, and you can tell us about it. But that first year, that option, it's bumper to bumper for a year, right?
Certain items, right? So let's just say something goes with the electrical. They ain't out there fixing it. It's probably going to be Focus. That's going to go out there and fix it. So that's something that I just want to clarify, because a lot of people think that the builder's actually going to go out there, because remember, they're just contractors. So they're contracting everything out with warranties. So let's see what her insurance. Insurance on a home, okay? You can actually get home warranty, and this is where people get confused. Home warranty with insurance. They're two different things. Do you want to explain the two different things, Joey?
Well, the warranty that you get could be from a third party.
Yep.
Right. So you can go through a third-party company, and you can pay select different packages, which will cover different items in the house. Right. That comes at different levels. Typically, the max is going to be somewhere around like $700 or so, and that's every year. Okay. Right. The insurance is if something catastrophic happens to your house, if it burns down, you have that, which is going to cover the value of your home and any personal items within the home.
So how do I know as a consumer when to get, or should I even get, a home warranty?
I always recommend it. Especially after that first year, that the builder turns everything over to you. It's always wise to get it, because anything can happen. Right. A lot of the appliances obviously will be covered. They'll have a 3-year warranty, typically, with your appliances. But like I said, they all have different packages. So based on what you want covered, you can select from that package.
What about you, Dan? Would you get a home warranty in today's market?
Yeah, I would get one. Why not? Especially if it's a new home. I mean, existing
on a new home, you don't really need one. On an existing home, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even on I don't know. I would weigh it out, because I think it depends on, track history. You want to get some information, especially from when you do your SRPD, the seller's really filling that out accurately. Let's say they had, I had a water leak or something like that. Maybe you want to get something pertaining to that. The abbreviation
for SRPD, can you please disclose that, please?
Seller's real property disclosure.
Okay, and what is that, real quick, for the viewers?
So the seller fills that out based upon their best knowledge of anything that's gone on with the house that's wrong, right? They got to disclose it to their best knowledge to the person buying the house.
Okay, so they must disclose everything that's wrong with the home, or anything that could depreciate the value of the property.
Yep.
Okay. Now, for me, I'm going to say no, right? Now, on a brand new home, you don't need a home warranty until the home warranty runs out. On a resale home, I will only do a home warranty depending on the age of the home. If it's more of a newer home, then I'm not worried about it, but also depending on how mechanically inclined you are. Let me give you an example. I don't have one on my personal home. If I got one, it would have cost me about $500, right, a year. I had a hot water heater. After living in the home after 5 years, it took a dump. So if I had a home warranty, it would have cost me $2,500. Now, I went out and I got a brand new water heater, and I got it, plumbed in from a plumber and all that stuff. And it cost me $2,500. So basically, I just broke even, right? So it's going to be a case-by-case basis. Now, if we know the home was actually built like 1998, I can tell you right now, as far as the electrical, the AC unit, if they're a little bit old, the hot water heater is old, then you probably want one, right? Because depending on the year of the appliances, right? So those are the things that I look out for.
Yeah.
What's the average?
sorry to cut you off, but I had 2 deals within the same year.
Yeah.
During the summertime that closed, no home warranty. Within a week after we closed, ACs go out.
And that can happen.
And they cost on average about $6,000.
Yeah.
Right? So had there been a warranty in place, it kicks in 30 days after you start the warranty. But however, it would have been covered.
Yeah. Now, some home warranties are great, and you got to really read the fine line, and some of them just suck.
Yeah.
So if you guys ask us for a referral, I don't really have a good one.
Well,
so
I think it comes down to like, what is the process of getting the warranty executed?
Exactly. You got to read the fine line.
That's it. I mean, because I think it's going to come by whatever company or whoever you're working with, because, you know.
We even had this problem. Let me give you an example. We had this problem with Dan's mom. We purchased a home for her. Well, I didn't purchase the home, but she purchased the home, and we got a home warranty, right? And it was good that she got it. And then she had a soft water, right? You know the salt water, not the salt water, but the pebbles, the little salt things?
Pellets.
Yeah, the pellets. So she had put it in there, but the pellets had went inside the line of the whole house. So she contacted the warranty company. I'm sorry, the home warranty. And they said that you're not covered. And she was like, why? And they said because the problem lies within that unit, and that unit spit all those pebbles into the home. So we have to flush it out. So basically, we only cover the plumbing that's inside of the home. Does that make sense? Because the unit was actually separate. So that unit actually caused it. So we're not covering it. So I'm like, man, that's such a D move, bro.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? So that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth.
And that's something you always have to be careful about, these warranty companies,
exactly.
right? It's just like buying a car warranty. You get to the body shop, you're like, here's my warranty. They're like, sorry, it's not covered. They always find something, right?
Now, I do have some cool warranty companies where I already know that the pool pump is about to go out, right? But I hurry up and get the home warranty knowing it's about to go out, and we close on the home, pool pump is out, then it makes sense. So it's a case-by-case basis. Right. You see what I'm saying? So you got to play the game, but also you got to read the fine lines. Because obviously they don't want to pay because they're only making like, $50 or $40 a month. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, case-by-case basis.
They're in it to make money, so they're going to fight a little bit too in there.
Sure.
So if somebody says they're thinking about moving to Southern Highlands, that area, American West Homes, which is Highland Ranch. Are you familiar with that?
I haven't been over there yet.
Okay. Do you foresee this area continuing to grow? So I guess growing as far as population-wise and also increase in value in the Southwest.
I do. Southwest is on fire right now.
It is, huh?
I mean, they just keep building and building and building. The biggest players are out there is going to be KB and American West. Yeah,
American West, they pretty much own everything. And which is American. Well, Pulte now also owns American West, but there's still two different divisions. Dan, you live out there in the Southwest, right? What area do you live in?
Southern Highlands.
How do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah. See, that's what our rich people love.
Yeah. No, they ain't rich at all. There is rich people above me in a different level, and I can look up to them and say, "Man, you're rich,
richer."
But I ain't rich.
No, you rich, man.
No, I'm not. I'm rich in love and life.
Look, you got to speak positive in yourself. You rich.
No, I think.
Yeah, you know what? If you're gonna start hanging around me, act like you rich.
I just try to be real. But if you're saying, do I think that area is gonna grow?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I think that all you see is builders out there.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's because there's still land going out towards those directions. And
it's
desirable.
Up through the foothills over there, they're just like,
oh yeah.
Expanding.
I mean, I went by Pulte. I've seen America West. They got nice floor plans over there. It looks like, I mean, you can drive and there's construction everywhere. They're just the capacity of what they're trying to build can't keep up with the demand for people wanting to buy a house.
Why is the Southwest more high in demand, and also why is the price per square foot a lot higher than the Northwest? Providence Master Plan Community, the Lone Mountain area, and Sky Canyon.
Well, I mean, if you're looking and you're asking me that question,
yeah.
Okay,
I want your perspective.
My perspective. So there is zip codes that's not appreciating as much as say 89141. I mean, you look over there and there's some zip codes which is like right next door, and they may be appreciated just a little bit. I really think it's about the builder. I think it's also about what's established in that surrounding area. Because if you're going to go buy a house, right, you want to have stores and things like that. It's still preliminary. And it's still trying to grow. Now, if you go out Blue Diamond, you go keep going, like you said, Lone Mountain or out in that area, there is a lot of establishment. But where they're building stuff, they're still trying to create roads for people to get there or expand it so there's the flow of traffic can go through it. So I don't know. I think as you see that these things become more developed, then I think you're going to see a more growth in that area. But as far as the demand in those areas, I think it's because it's new, right? Builders are really focusing on that area, and it is close to Summerlin, right?
Yeah,
and
it's bridging the gap between Henderson and Summerlin. Right?
It really is. And so, I mean, you got Southern Highlands, then you got the Southwest, and then you got the foothills, like you said, and it's all right there. And then all of a sudden, right next to that, Summerlin, south side Summerlin. Yeah, and what's really cool too, like they're building all the way out of Blue Diamond, right? Yeah. All the way out. I mean, if you go any further, you're hitting Potosi, right? Going out the Pahrump. But they're building out that direction. And when I show homes over there, and then we want to go see something in Summerlin, we go the back way.
Yeah, and it's just right there.
Yeah, through Red Rock. You get that nice scenic drive, and it dumps you off right into to Stonebridge.
I forgot about that drive. Every once in a while, I'll take that drive.
To Pahrump?
No, that back way to Charleston. Yeah, that's actually a pretty nice ride.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of places out there where you can just kind of stop off and go hiking right there too.
Oh yeah. There's tons
all
of them.
over.
Yeah. What was that old town that was that
Bonnie
one
Springs?
route? Bonnie Springs.
Yeah.
Did you know they're building like $4 million homes back there, dude?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like really, really cool. But what the agreement with the city is that they're going to have a lot of like public access space.
Oh, that's
they're
cool.
They're going to have restaurants and like parks and things like that to incorporate like in that whole area.
So is that going to be part like of a Summerlin community, or is that just like something completely different?
It's something completely different.
Dude, that's going to be some next level stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Now, the reason I think the Southwest is more valuable is because you have that 215, you have that 15, it's kitty corner, right? You have the Blue Diamond, so everything is remotely located, right? It's highly dense. You have the Strip. You have Harry Reid International starting as of today, right? You have a lot of people from California, right? Jumping on the 15 is just right there, right? And right across the road, right, of the 15, you're going to head right into Henderson. So I think that's the reason why it's very desirable, because on the south side, it's closer to the Strip. It's more towards entertainment versus out in the Northwest, Sky Canyon, you get more bang for your buck, but it's a whole different lifestyle, right? If you're into like hiking, biking, you want something that's more just kind of like laid back. You're not always going to go to the Strip, right? Because you work from home. Then that also may make sense for you too as well. Because I sell homes out there all the time, and they do have some nice homes.
Oh, yeah.
But what I tell my clients is it's all about lifestyle. For me, that's just too far, right? I live between the 215 and the 15, which is like the center of the Strip, because it's easy access for my lifestyle. Like if you look at my community, it's nothing but entrepreneurs. People are just coming and going. That's it, right? Because that's what it comes down to. Now, the Southwest, you do have master plan communities like Southern Highlands, right? Mountain's Edge, right? What is the difference between those two communities?
One's a master plan, one's not.
Okay, I mean, come on now. Let's break it down a little bit more. Like, what's the difference? What do you like about it? Because for me, the master plan communities are different. Like, when you go to Southern Highlands, I feel like things are more green. People are more out and about.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit more like uppity, right?
Well, I don't know, man.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, but you know what? I've been up to both sides of it, and they got a big park over there. Everybody goes to that park. It's a huge park.
I mean, just like the trees, like Southern Highland, it's all green.
Two parks actually,
right?
Very, very lush.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. But then when you go to Mountain's Edge, I'm looking at the trees. I'm like, man, these are some dried trees. What's going on here?
Well, you have to think about
it's not green, it's brown.
Well, you have to think about when they were both built, right?
Yeah,
Southern Highlands is more established, right?
Yeah.
So water wasn't a concern back then,
Yeah.
right? So now we're on these water restrictions. So now every time that they put in these new home communities, these new subdivisions, it's all desert landscape.
Yeah.
You know, they have maybe one tree in the front yard and a couple little plants.
Some of the parks too, you know, like they're not. You got grass, like you said, they're brown, but some of them like have artificial. In some cases, you know, artificial grass, you know, and a lot of it's rocks. A lot of it's maybe just, you know, places where you can walk where they got sidewalks and it's mostly like, basketball courts. But I think like if you look at the lifestyle, they have a different whole aura about what they're trying to accomplish. Like you said, in certain ways, Summerlin has this too, where they're promoting an outdoor life. They're promoting like, hey, you're okay to go out and jog. In other places you might not be able to, right? Sure. Or ride a bike. It's okay because everybody's got a community. It's like a community of people that all kind of like, hey, we enjoy this part of it. And I think it extends out to Mountain's Edge, which also extends out to Summerlin. And I think that's kind of the new thing is let's build some parks, a lot of green, a lot of outdoor. People feel positive, right? They're out and they're walking around or they're, they got a lot of outdoor seating, and there's just a different vibe. Yeah.
Speaking of outdoor seating, like, did you hear that there was like a requirement for Summerlin homes for the builders to incorporate at least 20% of indoor-outdoor living space in all their designs?
No.
That's why you find like a lot of courtyards and things like that, like side courtyards or double entries.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they want to bring more people outside than anything. But, I mean, that's a lifestyle now anyway. I mean, Inspirada's like that. I mean, phase one.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like phase one, it's like everybody's like outside.
Yeah.
But it's like kids. But going back to that, like, when we talk about master plan communities and communities like this, when I look at Inspirada, especially phase one, I feel like if you got a family, that's where you go.
Yeah.
Like for me, I go there, I'm like, I don't like this. I gotta get out of here.
It's almost like a little city or town within a city.
Yeah.
It's like you go there and it's like they try to like disconnect, I think, a little bit. That you're in your own little pocket, your own little community, like you say. Like when you go to a house, you leave, it's like, well, you don't feel like you're in somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you go to Inspirada, I feel like you're somewhere else.
So let's talk about this. So Inspirada, is that a community or a master plan community?
That's a master plan.
Okay. Southern Highlands, master plan community or just a community?
Master plan.
Okay. Mountain's Edge.
Community.
Summerlin.
Master plan.
Okay. Now, let's talk about what is the difference between a community versus a master plan community.
Well, the big difference, I would say, it's more of a controlled environment.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to have, the parks, the recreation, the pool access, things like that. When you're looking at a community, it's more of just a subdivision. Whether it's 100 homes, you're going to have, within, just a quarter mile radius or a mile radius, depending on how big it is, if it's gated or not gated. But that's pretty much what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right. The master plan, could have schools in the master plan, shopping as well.
Yeah.
Everything located within walking distance if you need to, in most cases. So that's probably the biggest difference.
So where would you say the value would be if somebody was going to buy a home and also wanted to buy based upon future value? Would you say go and purchase something in a master plan community or just a community?
I would say master plan community.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan? What do you prefer? Just personally.
I don't want as many restrictions. So I don't know. I think for me, I don't know. I probably depends on the style of home. Like, look, for me, I'll just be honest. I like a vintage style home. I don't want to be in a like I love Southern Highlands, love the area, but master plan community, there's a lot of restrictions. You got sometimes SIDS, lids, right? Fees and stuff.
Yeah, and the density too, like with like how many people are actually there could be play a factor too.
Yeah, so I don't know. For me, I think I would probably go community.
Also, guys, I want to mention today's going to be our last show. That's right. Our last show for the next, I think, 2 weeks because your boy's going to Hawaii. So the next time you'll see me, I'll be sitting on a beach with a margarita, virgin margarita.
You don't drink at all?
Not at all.
Not at all, huh?
You know what's funny is a lot of people think I drink, I party, they look at the tattoos, they're like, he's a bad boy. This is all for show, man. No go. All show, no go. Right?
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
Back
New chapter. But guys, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the show. Until next time, which is 2 more weeks from now. If you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Also, check out our Instagram too as well. We're about 5,500. I'm trying to get this thing to 10,000. So if you want to see what's really going on for minute by minute, check us out on Instagram. Also, on the Instagram feed, we also We'll release new properties that come up on the market, deals too as well. So check us out. Other than that, I really appreciate each and every one of you guys from the bottom of my heart.